Hello everyone, welcome. It has been a really long time since I have done a Sephora haul. I'm going to share with you what I purchased and also give you some rapid fire reviews of those products because I have used them already. As soon as I get a package dropped off from Sephora, either in the mail or from my same day delivery sign up, it is very, very difficult for me to not either use some of the products that same day or the next day. Once in a while, if it's a product that I've purchased to use for my monthly testing hot new makeup video, then I sort of put the package aside and I try to be patient. But most of the time, I'm like a kid on Christmas morning and I've just got to dig in. In addition to sharing with you what I purchased from Sephora, I am also going to share with you some PR that I have received recently. I have never in the history of my channel done a PR haul, but because this was the first time I had ever received PR from these brands, I thought it might be fun and interesting to share with you what they sent me. The first thing I got was a repurchase. This is my completely empty bottle of Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Liquid Foundation. In my opinion, this foundation does not get the praise it deserves. It is not for everyone. I will say that right off the bat. It is a very full coverage foundation. I can see how it wouldn't be ideal for someone with very dry, mature skin. But if you're new to my channel, I have oily, mature skin, and I do like medium to full coverage foundations for certain occasions, not for every day, but for filming, for photos, for going out at night, just whenever I want my skin to look really, really perfected. Of course, I have some other favorites that I've talked about, like the Hourglass Foundation, Estee Lauder Double Wear, but I rediscovered this one in my makeup stash about 2.5 weeks ago. And I noticed that it was almost empty. And I remembered how much I used to really like this foundation. Even though this bottle was, I don't actually know how old, I took the chance and I used it. And from the first application, I was like, wow, why did I stop using this? This looks so good. My skin looked truly flawless. It lasted all day, and I was actually less shiny with this than I typically get wearing Estee Lauder Double Wear, and definitely less shiny than I get when I use the Hourglass. So I was able to get maybe another 3 to 4 uses out of this bottle, and after loving the way it looked and performed each time, I knew I had to get a fresh bottle. And the shade I use is number 6. I also purchased another one of the new Charlotte Tilbury blush sticks. I had already purchased the Peachy Glow because I personally just love a peachy blush. And I love a cream blush stick, even though I'm oily and powder blushes do tend to last longer on my skin. I'm finding that the latest formulas of cream blushes, such as this one from Charlotte Tilbury and the newest ones from Dior, they actually have really, really good staying power. And I love how this is buildable. It can go on very, very sheer, or it can be built up for really intense pigment. I'm fairly certain I used this in my testing hot new makeup for June. Whenever I really like a product, I do have a tendency to buy it in another shade. So this time I got Rosy Glow, and it is a beautiful kind of neutral pink. It's got a little bit of a blue undertone to it, but there is a brighter pink in the range. So that's Peachy Glow and Rosy Glow. And I did purchase one more Charlotte Tilbury product. I got the lip contour duo in medium. I already owned the Fair, and I like the Fair, but I had seen quite a few beauty influencers use the medium, and I thought because sometimes I do self-tan or I use a darker foundation, especially in the summertime, I wanted to try the medium. And I actually think I prefer this to the Fair. This pencil has a sculpt side and then a fill side, and they're both very neutral, like neutral pinky browns that will work with a lot a lot of lip combos. A couple weeks ago, I posted an updated hair routine, and I spoke about how much I'm loving my Prose custom hair products, my Prose custom hair products. I use their shampoo, conditioner, dry shampoo, hair mask, hair oil. I use it all. But what they do not have is a purple toning shampoo. Because my hair does have a tendency, like most blondes, to start getting very, very yellow after a couple of weeks, I do like to use a toning shampoo maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, whenever I feel like it just needs to be a little less yellow and a little bit more vibrant. And I did already have a couple pretty popular brand purple shampoos in my hair care collection, but I wanted something new. I wasn't in love with any of them. So I did what a lot of us do. I went online, I started reading reviews, and I ended up with this duo from Amika. This is the Bust Your Brass Cool Blonde Strength Repair Shampoo and Conditioner. I used this duo for the second time today, and the reviews were absolutely spot on. I love what this does for my hair. It really toned down the yellow, brought out my highlights. I did just get my gray roots touched up the other day, but she doesn't do any sort of highlight or toner when she's only doing the roots. I get my highlights touched up every other time I go. So she did not touch the highlights this time, just did the root. So I still needed, I felt, a little bit of toning. So that is why I used these again. I used this duo once before I had gotten my hair touched up, and then I used it again today, which is about 2 days after getting my gray touched up. So if you are a blonde that could use some toning, I highly, highly recommend these. And the product that I had to order online, I was actually super, super excited about. And now I'm super bummed because it didn't work out the way I had hoped. This is from a new brand called Messy. It is the I Am Enough Rough Dry Style Cream. This new brand was started by the creator of Dry Bar, Allie Webb. Allie Webb was the mastermind behind Dry Bars, where you could just go and get your hair blown out for like $45 or $55. And it was all they did there, just blowouts, no cuts, no color. There was a Dry Bar up until recently at the Cosmopolitan here in Las Vegas. And it was the busiest dry bar, apparently the busiest dry bar in the country. And they had a DJ and they had an actual bar in there. Of course, it's Las Vegas. You wouldn't really expect anything less. But I heard that it recently closed. I was really surprised to hear that that location closed because it was always so busy. Getting back to Allie Webb though, I think she sold the company at least 5 years ago. And that is sort of when it started going downhill. At least that's the word on the street. I personally have never been to a dry bar, but I have used Dry Bar products. So from the blowout salons, she started a range of products, a range of hair care tools, but she hasn't been a part of Dry Bar for a while. So she launched her own brand, and I saw a video come across my Instagram feed, and she was demonstrating this rough dry cream. There's a shampoo and a conditioner, and I think maybe a shine serum, but this looked like the product that I could really use because I do have naturally very wavy, frizzy, coarse hair. In the comment section of my recent hair routine video, a lot of people asked me if I would ever show my hair's natural texture on camera. And honestly, the day I tried this product, I had it in my head that I was going to film a video with my hair in its natural state because I was really thinking that this was going to work the way I had seen it demonstrated online. Allie's hair appeared to be very similar to mine, and I followed her routine step by step. And sadly, my hair did not come out any different than it ever did when I used basically any styling cream. There just didn't seem to be anything special about this. My hair wasn't any less frizzy. It didn't look sort of controlled messy like it did on her. And I kept thinking to myself, how would this look if I actually lived in a humid climate? We have maybe 4-5% humidity here in Las Vegas. Well, we just started monsoon season, so some days it's definitely higher than that. But typically the atmosphere in Las Vegas, bone dry. And my hair was still frizzy. I just didn't feel like it looked good. I didn't feel confident. And I did have high hopes for this product because it seemed to come along at just the right time, because I was sort of encouraged by those comments from that video to embrace my natural texture. Well, I gave it a try. It was unsuccessful. I couldn't go through with it. Maybe when I'm editing this video, I'll insert a little B-roll footage from that day so you can see what I mean and give me your thoughts if you feel so inclined. All I can say is that I just didn't feel very confident with my hair that way. And I just don't think that this $34 styling cream does anything different than any other styling cream that's out there. So yeah, this was a bit of a disappointment. Okay, now let's get into some really exciting PR that I recently received. A lot of you are aware that LTK, Like to Know It, is a platform that a lot of content creators use for their affiliate linking. Well, another platform you may or may not have heard of is Shop My or Shop My Shelf. And a lot of content creators have started using Shop My instead of LTK or in conjunction with their LTK links, because there are some benefits of using Shop My that LTK doesn't have. And one of those benefits are that if you start linking a brand's products, they give you the opportunity to start being on their PR list, or maybe not being on their PR list, but being able to request products. They're offering up more of their products. So in recent videos, I had talked about how much I loved the Sarah Creel concealer. I think I've talked about it in 2, maybe 3 videos. Very organically, I bought that concealer with my own money and I had linked it through Shop My. I also did a video a couple months ago dedicated to the brand Vive. It was the second video I had done on that brand. I think it is such a fantastic brand. It's so underrated. That's why I have 2 videos dedicated to it. I think they're about a year, maybe 2 years apart. I used Shop My links for that as well. So both Vive and Sarah Creel reached out to me and asked if I would like to pick out a couple of more products to try. So for Sarah Creel, because I already have the concealer, I decided to try some of her other products. This is the Just Like Paradise 12-Hour Peptide Sculpting Cream Bronzer. I also chose Today's Highlights Peptide Balm Luminizer. They sent the Back of the Cab Volumizing Longwear Tubing Mascara and this Speak for Yourself Hydrating Lipstick. I've decided that I am going to save the highlighter and the cream bronzer for next month's, well, this month's, July's, Testing Hot New Makeup, because these are actually new products to the brand. As tempted as I am to try them, I am going to wait. If you're not familiar with Sarah Creel, her brand was created specifically for women over 40. All of her products contain skincare ingredients. So it's not just a color cosmetic. It's actual skincare built into a color cosmetic. And all of the formulas work well on mature skin. That is one of the reasons why I love the concealer so much. The consistency, the shade range, the longevity, everything about it is top notch. I did use the mascara today. I love a good tubing mascara, and I am extremely happy with it. I really like the wand on this. I also really like how it gave both length and thickness. And the best part to me about a tubing mascara is how easy they are to remove. Just warm water and your fingertips, and those tubes just come right off. There's no tugging, there's no pulling, there's no need for eye makeup remover. Those tubes also prevent smudging and flaking. And so far, I am really, really happy with this mascara. And I really like the sleek packaging as well. My lip combo today is a combination of the 2 products that Vive sent over. I was able to select one lip combo, one lip liner and one gloss. And I chose this lip liner in the shade Peach because I already have several of the other lip liners that I bought myself. And this lip dew in Pesca. I placed that lip dew over the Sarah Creel lipstick in the shade Sugar Mama. Is this not such a pretty lip combo? This lip liner actually matches this lipstick perfectly. And then the lip dew just gives it a little bit more color and shine. Before I get to the final few PR products, I did forget one of my Sephora purchases. I have recently fallen in love with the Josie Maran body butter in Golden Hour. Josie Maran makes several different scents in her body butter, and Golden Hour is my favorite. And she recently came out with these fragrance mists, so I decided to give it a try. And I think a fragrance mist is really, really fantastic for summer. You can spray it in your hair, and it smells like summer in a bottle, but it's not too sweet. It doesn't smell like suntan lotion, which personally I wouldn't mind because I do kind of like suntan lotion-y type of scents, but that's not what this is. To me, it just smells like if sunset were bottled. Like you're standing at the edge of the ocean, the sun's going down, golden hour hits, and you just feel like sort of warm and comforted, and it's super light. No one is going to smell this before you enter the room. So it's absolutely perfect for daytime, or if you work in an office and you just want something that maybe only you can stop and smell every once in a while. It's so nice. Of course, right after I buy my first hair and body mist, well, maybe it's not my first, but it's the first one I've purchased in several years, I receive a PR package for the first time from Sol de Janeiro. These perfume mists are so popular. Everyone seems to be talking about them. So nearly every time I go into Sephora, I go up to them and I spray the different ones, and nothing ever really stands out for me enough to make me want to buy it. But they sent me this number 62 pistachio and salted caramel, and I haven't even opened it yet. I know I've smelled it before because, like I said, I do test them out every single time I go to Sephora because I feel like I'm missing something. Everyone just seems to love these so much. Obviously, I already sprayed this one, but I'm gonna put this like maybe on my hand. I don't know, I'm just not in love. Maybe I need to let it sit. But I'm always excited about getting a new body lotion because I do go through lotion so quickly. My face, still super oily. My body, however, always dry. I really like the packaging on this, and I like that it has a pump. Maybe I'll like the scent of the lotion better than the mist. Yeah, I kind of do. It's very similar, but not identical, at least not to my nose. So I'll have to follow up with you on whether or not I think it's as hydrating as the Josie Maran, meaning the Josie Maran body butter I mentioned earlier. And in case you're wondering why I didn't put either of those Charlotte Tilbury blushes on my face to demo them like I usually do, that is because today I've used two products that were sent to me from Nude Sticks. I have purchased so many of these over the years, and I do really, really like them. What I don't like about them, and maybe it's just me again, I don't think it's necessary to have this little brush on the end. I never, ever use this. I suppose it's good to have in a pinch, but I would rather them just make the actual product and lower the price a bit. They sent over the matte blush in Bubba, and this color is so pretty. It is such a beautiful bright pink. And this is a matte, so it doesn't have the type of glow that the Charlotte Tilbury has, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And then what I did today is I went on top of it with the highlighting product they sent over, which is called I Do, D-E-W. And this is a very beautiful pinky shimmer highlight. And I think it is absolutely stunning. I've got to say, I really like how my makeup turned out today. I used an old eyeshadow palette that I'm not sure is available anymore. It's the Urban Decay Naked Honey eyeshadow palette. If you have that palette in your stash and you haven't used it in a long time, I encourage you to bring it out because it has some really, really beautiful shades in there. And pretty much everything else on my face are products I talked about today. the foundation, the cheek combo, the lip combo, mascara, hair products. I will have everything I talked about in this video listed and linked for you in the description box of this video, as well as tagged through YouTube Shopping. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I do appreciate that so much. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider doing so. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find me under the same username over on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.